What's up, everybody? What's up? I had to already have this queen on the stage with me. You know me, I'm your girl, Nicole Briscoe, aka the Mobile Home Mommy, and this is Miss Jillian. Last I
Hey,
checked, she is down in Illinois. I'm gonna let her tell us a little bit about her journey, but let's get started, Jillian. How you doing?
I am well. I'm well. I can't complain.
Awesome, awesome. Y'all, Jillian was my shy baby, so we're gonna get through
Mm.
this. That being said, Jillian, tell them where you from, current occupation. Yeah.
I can get into like a little bit of that of why I went back to doing eyelashes
Okay.
from the mobile home and why I'm back at doing mobile home investing. So it's kind of like my story.
I got you. Okay. So let's start off with, do my lashes look good?
Your lashes are perfect. Yes, indeed. Shout
Listen,
out to your lash artist, okay?
listen, this is a new lady. And normally I do 10s and 11s. She was like,
Mhm.
let's do 13s.
Yes. Okay, come on through with the 13s. And they
Got
popping
a
on you too,
got,
Nicole. Yeah.
got a little extra going on.
Got you some flutter.
Yes, got some flutter. But
Right.
let's get into it. How did you choose mobile home? Why did you choose mobile home investing?
So, around the time of the pandemic, um, everybody know like everything, all the beauty industries and everything was shutting down during that time. So, during our worldwide staycation, I was kind of like panicking, trying to figure out like my next move and what it
Yeah.
was that I wanted to do with myself in order to sustain myself and my family. I was just, venturing off into different things, trying to find like other things that I could do that would kind of like make me some income. And I've always knew, even before the staycation, I always wanted to like venture off into real estate, traditional real estate, but I couldn't quite wrap my mind around like how would I be able to get in that particular industry
Mm-hmm.
because of everything that is needed in order to tap into that. You need the capital, also you need real estate license. It's just a whole bunch of red tape that you got to go through with doing traditional real estate. But long story short, and fast forward to the pandemic, I was just looking around trying to figure out what it is that I can do in order to make me some income. So I remember one time I was like kind of like scrolling on Instagram, and I was following a young lady that's based out of here in Chicago. She's a realtor, but she's almost like she would what you consider like a serial entrepreneur. And she like does things like Airbnbs, and also she has like med spa. So it's a lot of things that she have like under her belt that she does. But I
Okay.
was scrolling on Instagram. I ended up finding like one of her lives where she was hosting like this like event where she just brought all like these industry gurus out, people
Right.
that was like in real estate, people that
Mhm.
dealt with like business credit. It was just, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I was just looking into it. I was like, man, this is a five event that's going on her live. And I'm like, man, I'm just happy that she was posting it and I was getting all the knowledge from everybody that she had invited. Stayed to the end. I watched Byron come on from
Mhm.
Mobile Home Investors.
Yeah.
So kind of like looked at that, and like how he was talking about it, it kind of like piqued my interest. I'm like, mobile home investing, I never heard of it, but he was kind of like describing it and how like it's a good entryway into like real estate. Um, Piqued my interest so much, I decided to follow Mobile Home
Okay.
Elite. After following Mobile Home Elite, I caught a few lives. I even caught like the Earn Your Leisure
Yep.
interview with them
Mhm.
with that. But it what made me kind of like jump off into it was when he did like a live with you, Nicole, and just hearing your story and where you came from is like you were so relatable, and then your personality was just like cool down to earth. I'm like, man, she feel like sister, you know what I'm saying? Like she feel like family. So it's like watching that interview with you and Byron kind of like sealed my deal. I was like, all right, well, I'm finna take my last. I'm gonna run through some credit cards and I'm finna pay for this mentorship,
Yeah.
because it just moved me. And I was like, you know what? I feel good about it. I don't know why. It's a part of me that's like fearful and scared, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
jump into it. So
Yeah.
that's what made me decide to get into it.
So check this out,
STEM.
y'all. So
Mm-hmm.
Jillian is an OG student. Me and Jillian been working together since 2021.
Yes.
2021? Okay,
It was
2021.
21. Yep.
And back then, like she stated, I was partnered with Byron Starnice and we were doing bus tours. And so we would get all of our mentees, take them out to the mobile home park and let them see how to invest in mobile home. Now listen, I'll never forget on the bus tour. It was a man who saw all of us outside in the same shirts on this big bus, and he like, "What y'all doing?" So we started talking to him. He was like, "Well, I need to sell my mobile home. Y'all want to look at it?" And I'm like, "Jillian, come on." So we walked into this mobile home, right? And it was some other students behind us, but I was more concerned about Jillian only because she's an introvert. She's very shy, and I know she ain't gonna have another opportunity to walk with me. So I'm like, "Let's go in here." So I started talking to the man, started negotiate with him, and this is the area, y'all. We all got our mask on our face. So Jillian is just standing beside me, and I'm like, "So Jillian, you got any questions for him?" She was like, no, I don't have any questions at the moment." I said, "You want to get his contact?" She was like, "Okay, what is your contact information, sir?"
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there like, she ain't gonna make it. And I'm trying to talk to her outside. And I'm like, "Jillian, are you okay?" She was scaring me because her whole body was trembling. And she was like, I'm okay. I can do this. I said, "Jillian, do you really think you could do this?" She was like, "I'm okay." So Jillian went ghost for some months. I'll let you pick up the story from there.
Yes, we went out to our bus tour, and Nicole is right. Like that was a real thing. It was kind of like my anxiety and my fear like got the best of me,
Mhm.
and I couldn't control it. I don't know. I wasn't good at breathing then, so it was like I was overthinking. It was just a lot going on. I had the sweat. It was a disaster. But I took a break because I took a break really because of kind of like my overthinking,
Mhm.
and I kind of like fell back, and then I get into this mode where I would start. It was almost like getting on my own ass. I apologize, but
You
you know what I'm
know?
saying, like just to pep talk myself and like, okay, well, Jill, you didn't pay for this mentorship. You spent all this money. What you finna do with it? We got to do something, because we didn't already we invested in it. So I made it up in my mind. I was like, okay, if this is what I'm going to do, then I'm going to trust and I'm going to follow the advice of Nicole. And I'm going to push myself through, and I'm just going to have like laser focus. I'm just going to dedicate my time just to go out there and do exactly what it is that she tell me to do. So that's when I reached out to you again, Nicole. And I was like, you know what, Nicole, I'm ready. I'm finna go out here. I'm finna do what you instructed me to do, and I'm going to get me some deals. And when I did that, when I allowed myself to lock in and to really like follow the advice of Nicole, I started closing deals. My
Okay.
first deal, I did it with a joint venture with another student that was part of the mentorship program with me. Miss shout out to Miss Adrian if she
Mhm.
still around. I partnered with her. We did our first deal together. I think it was me and her first deal together.
Mhm.
And then I was driving for dollars, ended up finding like my second deal. So in the course of me like locking in and actually like going full in and dedicating myself to investing, I ended up closing out 5 deals. I did a total of 5. And that's when I made my mentorship investment back. And yeah, it was like uh, yeah, that's the history in regards to
So,
that.
so out of those 5 deals, do you remember how much money you made?
Out of those 5 deals, I made $15,000.
Now, before you made 15,000, how long was the break that you took?
Before I made 15,000, I want to say, how long was that break that I took? I want to say about 3 months, maybe.
No, it was longer than
Or
that.
maybe was it longer than that, Nicole?
It's longer
Okay.
than that.
Okay, I'm bad with time.
It's
So
okay.
yeah,
It,
it was a minute then. I knew it
yeah,
was a minute that I took the break.
yeah.
Right.
It was over 6 months, but I'm just so glad that you came back. And y'all,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell a little bit of her business. Jillian will come and attack me with questions, show me the deal she made, and go back out in the streets like Casper. I don't hear from her.
Yeah.
Now, up until this point, I haven't heard from her in over, I'm gonna say at least 18 months. She just hit me up a couple weeks ago, sent me this long message like, "Hey Nicole, I'm back. I had to get back on my grind. I got some things going on in my personal life. She was like, and I'm sorry it's been so long you talked to me. Do I need to repay for your mentorship? Can you help me and I pay you a percentage of my what I say, Jillian?
Yeah. First of all, Nicole was like so welcoming, so inviting, and I didn't reach out to Nicole at first, even when I took my break, because it was a part of me that felt shame. Like, you know what? I keep on dipping in and out. So, it's a part of me like, she ain't gonna take me serious. She ain't gonna even want to talk to me. So I'm gonna need to try to kind of like do something to like show myself approved. And before I reached out to her, I got back and I started doing mobile, I started investing again.
Mhm.
But even like the information that I've gotten from Nicole previously, I retained it.
Mhm.
So that was enough for me to jump back into the game and actually close the deal. Since taking that 18 months break, I closed another deal.
Mhm.
I ended up running into another deal that was kind of confusing because it was my first time dealing with this particular situation,
Mhm.
and I knew I needed some help. But it was a part of me that was afraid to reach out to Nicole because I was just assuming that she probably didn't even want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you ain't serious or whatever the situation is. So I was like, all right. I'm like, damn, I'm in a band. Let me reach out to Nicole. Let me see. Let me at least try. I'm not gonna assume that she's, I'm not gonna assume that, she's not gonna say anything to me or whatever. I mean, even if she does, then that's fine. You know what I'm saying? At least you tried.
Mhm.
But Nicole wasn't like that. I reached out to her. She was very welcoming. She was like, "Yes, Jillian," and she, affirmed me. She was like, "Man, you have this skill. Anything that you need, that you can reach out to me." She was like, I want you to reach out to me." So, you know, Nicole is like really a blessing when it comes to that. When y'all invest and go ahead and jump off the fence and be a part of this her mentorship program, I'm telling you, you got one of the coldest ass people in the game in your back pocket, and she not gonna lead you astray. That's like real. That's real talk. Don't be like me though. It's like stick to it. That's the advice that I give you. Like stick to it. If you stick to it, you'll be so much further. And I'm guessing this is me saying that I almost want to kick myself in my own ass because it's like, man, Jill, you just need to stick to it. Because everybody that didn't stick to it
Mhm.
because Nicole got them. She done pretty much, saying she done pretty much got them past that that part where they
Mhm.
was fearful until now they are, they pros at it. But you know what I'm saying? They still learning and they still got Nicole, but they pros at it. They doing their thing in the industry. So that's what I want to say in
Listen,
regards to that.
listen, Jillian. I'm just proud of you. I'm proud of you because
Thank you.
in the game, early in the game, I had gave up on you. I'm like, she ain't gonna do this. She freaking out. She having an anxiety attack. So every
Yeah,
time that you go out and you do deals and you come back, I'm so proud of you.
thank
And
you.
like she told y'all, I have never charged her another fee or give me a percentage of your deal. I
Mhm.
don't know. It's good. I want.
But listen, I would though, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how valuable she is. If sometimes you gotta make sure that you paying your way.
Listen,
Because Nicole, you that valuable. I'm just gonna say that I ain't mean to overtalk you, but I'm just saying
I
I
appreciate it.
would.
I ain't gonna never turn away nothing. Now. I ain't gonna turn it away, but I ain't gonna charge you. But what I want people to get overall though
Mhm,
is that this is a life skill that
mhm.
she is locked in on. She retired herself from doing esthetician work. Then she was like, I'm gonna slow down. Let me go
Got
back to
scared.
esthetician work. Now
Yeah.
she's locked in again. We started this journey together in 2021. Now she
Mhm,
done locked in, like, you know what? Let me get back on it. And she picked right back up. She's dealing with a situation. Do you mind telling them about the deal
mhm.
or what the confusion was?
So this particular deal that I have on the contract now, by the way, is it's a newer home that I'm selling. I'm used to wholesaling like homes that are they probably like a 96 year 96 or something like that. The I want to say the newest year that I ever sold was probably like a 97. This particular home is a 2014. It's a beautiful home located inside a community that's investor friendly. But the issue that I'm having with this one, I wouldn't say it's not an issue. It's just, it's something that I'm learning, is that this particular home has a lien on it. So my seller is actually still paying monthly payments on it through a bank. She wants it to be sold at a certain period of time because her and her boyfriend stays in the same community. He has his own home. His home is paid off, but of course he wants his girlfriend to move with him. So she's looking to sell her home, but it has a lien. So I'm trying to figure out um pretty much how to go about um bringing my seller the right buyer for this particular deal, and how does that particular deal, what it looks like. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that.
Yes.
Not being fearful and not taking it on. I'm allowing myself to be open just to learning, you
Mhm.
know.
And I'm
Um,
working with
yeah.
her through this deal again,
Mhm.
because you can be so used to wholesaling it. Because at first, Jillian was getting a lot of deals from parks. She had partnered. Her strategy won't bandit sign. Her strategy was let me go out here and talk to the parks in person,
Yeah.
right? So she was
Mhm.
getting a lot of deals that way. This deal is different because she's like, wait a minute, is a lien on it, and what do I do? So I'm talking her through it. She can do it. It can be done. It's just a different process. And I try to teach my students, like, let's not run away when something is new. Let's figure out how we can get it done.
Yeah.
Let's figure out how we can get it done. So with all that being said, what would be one thing that has been no, let's talk about this deal. Now I'm not sure if this is the one because I know you were working on two. But is
Mhm.
this the one where the lady contacted you and was like, I spoke with my boyfriend and actually you need to give me a down payment to sell my house?
Yep, that's the same lady. We quickly got it. Yeah. Yeah.
So, what I want you to do is I want you to tell them how that conversation started and how you corrected it. Because sometimes sellers will try to bully us or push us, like, let's talk through that.
So of course this is her boyfriend is in her ear, telling her how she should go about selling her home. So I've been talking to this lady for a while, trying to
Mhm.
figure out how I can set this deal up or even to get her to assign the agreement for me to even market her home. But she ended up contacting me one day because she wants it sold because she wants to cut down costs. And she was like, yeah, I will allow you to put me on a contract to sell my home. But I want you to pay me $6,000 up front. And I was telling her, I was like, well, I really don't think like that is how this deal should go. Because first of all, I ended up reaching out to Nicole in regards to it because I really didn't know what to say to her. Because I was just like, okay, well, I know it don't sound right, but you know what? Let me reach out to my mentor just to make sure, that I'm not thinking anything crazy. So I reached out to the Nicole, and Nicole was like, who did this lady think she is? First of all, if you was a realtor, you will be charging her like 5 to 10% of, how much her home is worth in order for
Yeah.
her to bring you, to close out this deal or whatever. So tell her no, this is not how it goes. And if anything, you need to be the person that is putting down some money to ensure that the buyer that I bring you um gets that title once everything is said and done. And that your mortgage is paid off, right? Once the lien is paid off. So that's pretty much how I approached the conversation. I told her that I would call her back once I got like clarity from my mentor. I ended up going back to the lady and I was like, yeah, nah, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna pay you $6,000. I was like, I think I need to walk away from this deal because you know what, that's not how I do things.
Mhm.
Um, she ended up before she even got me off that phone, she was like, okay, well, what do you need for me to do? Because the lady, she really wants to sell her home. So she like, okay, well, what do you need from me? I was like, well, this is what I need. I need an agreement with you stating that, you're going to get, allow me to bring you a buyer. And, once we have a buyer, then we're going to have to set up something in regards to you putting like up some form of collateral to ensure once, that lien is paid off, that my buyer is going to receive their title. That's kind of like how that situation came about.
Say it again.
Yeah. No, I was just saying Nicole coached me through that. It was just
Listen,
like,
y'all, we deal with different situations and we process through these situations. Like, no one is paying up front to sell your home. And number two, really, we need money from you once we find a buyer to secure to make sure that once we get this title, you're going to do your due diligence to make sure that we receive that title in hand. So
mhm.
it wasn't like, yeah, me and Jillian talked on the back end. I'm like, hey, who she thinks she talking to? Da, da, da. But in front of the seller, she was very professional. Hey,
Yeah.
unfortunately, this isn't going to work. This is how we can do this deal. Now, with that being said, if there was anything that you could change on your journey, what would you have changed?
If there was anything that I can change on my journey, it would be to have more confidence in myself.
Okay.
That would be the only thing that I would change with this journey. Actually be open to learning. Most of my life I just had a fear of failure or failing, or messing up or doing wrong. Even to like when I took the break the second time, I kind of like let my mind get the best of me. And I was doing well. So that would be the only thing that I would change. As far as
Okay.
everything, my experience, I want to say that everything was beautiful. Most of this experience was just me, learning how to have like confidence within myself
Mm-hmm.
and just being open to learning. Also networking with people. That's another thing too, because I'm so shy. So it's like I'm learning how to do that too, because this is like it's definitely like a relationship type of industry. And you have to be the type of person that's open to like creating like divine relationships in it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that I'm learning.
So now that you're back investing in mobile homes, what is it that you want for the remainder of 2024, and what is it that you want 2025 going forward?
So the remainder of 2024 is what I want to do. I want to really like allow myself to lock in and like really put myself out there to find deals. Right now I am still doing like the wholesaling route, and I'm doing a wholesaling route just to give myself create myself enough capital in order for me to transition over into fix and flip, because I have family members, like some of the men in my family, they like carpenters. So it's like for 2025, I'm looking into actually flipping and fixing and flipping. That's what I'm looking at.
And
Yeah.
you already got the men to get it done.
Right.
All
So I
right.
have a whole vision, right, for people.
So the next steps you need to do is you have the vision, but actually
Mhm,
write it out. This is what I want. I'm looking at my dry erase board. This is
mhm,
what I want, and give yourself hard deadlines. But when you are writing out your vision, don't say, for the first quarter, I want to make $20,000. You should say something more specific, like the first quarter, I want to close 2 mobile homes. Therefore, the pressure isn't on yourself. Well, yeah, I did close 2 deals, but I only made $8,000. Now you all right that you made 8,000, but you're harder on yourself because you didn't meet that 2020 goal. Leave that open, but make it specific with, I would like to close 2 deals during the first quarter. What does that look like? If I'm not gonna do business signs, I gotta get out here. I Every week I need to meet 3 new park owners or 3 park managers. Every week, with meeting the 3 park managers, I have to at least pass out 20 of my flyers to individuals within the mobile home park. You set the goal, 2 deals, but what is going to help you get the 2 deals? And you branch out as to what specifically you should be doing every single week to get you to those 2 deals. And I promise you, you can get it done. I promise you. This 2024, I've never hit so many goals in my life. 2024 was a good year because I stated my goal and then I drew these little branches. What is it that I have to make sure I do every single week to get me there? Okay.
Yes, receive.
So, in closing, you got anything to say to a newbie investor?
So my advice to a newbie investor would be to trust yourself, believe in yourself, get you the right mentor. Let Nicole be your mentor. If you're thinking about mobile home investing, I'm telling you, she's gonna lead you to the promised land. Follow the blueprint that she gives you. My biggest thing is like to believe in yourself. Like, please believe in yourself. Even if you are afraid, sometimes, in order to get to what it is that you want to achieve, you got to go through the fear. You can't allow you can't allow the fear to consume you. You got
Mm-hmm.
to stick to the plan, stick to the course, and just have a knowing that, what I'm saying, you have support.
Yep.
Okay. So that's kind of like my advice.
Thank you, ma'am. Listen,
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. For real, I want you to check in at least once every 2 weeks. Keep me posted with the deal that you're doing now. But I don't want this to get, again, to just be a bus stop. You get picked up and you're gone. I really want you to continue to do this so you can build and build. Because again, That wholesale money is good, it's cute, but it's quick. You need that
Mm-hmm.
passive income, whether that's rental properties, whether that's uh, a long term investment where you're seller financing, where you're holding and owning something for 5 years, but just longer term investments is what you truly need. And you got the
Yes.
team to get it done. All right. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you. Until next time, I'll see everybody later.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.